Welcome, one and all, to your new moon in Aquarius ceremony. Shout out to those of you in the live chat. Y'all are really awesome, considering I just made this broadcast like less than an hour ago, and y'all showed up. This is awesome. Shout out to those of you who were present for the ceremony yesterday. Shout out to Empress Daisy. Shout out to Kobe. What's up, Apollo Dottie? How you feeling? How you doing, Asia?
I am doing pretty good today. And, this new moon is very welcome because I'm very happy to be done with this eclipse cycle. And we're going to be good for the next few months. So also, that being said, new moons are always about, blessings and abundances. But this one is going to be special since it's Aquarius. So we are all here together in thought, in spirit, or otherwise. And, we are all really starting to connect in every facet, really. It's not even just one facet, but we're all connecting to our own individual facets and coming together. So thank you all so much for being here. This is going to be an amazing ceremony. Why? Because you are all here. And that is what Aquarius teaches us and represents, where the sun is in its detriment because it's no longer able to rely on just its ego. We need each other's ego. So yeah, this is going to be an amazing time. Thank you all so much for being here. Don't be afraid of smashing that like button for us, giving us some love. We appreciate it as always. So yeah, how are you feeling tonight, Mike?
First of all, it's amazing how, there's a difference between the sun being in its detriment versus being in its fall. I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, so I hope to make the most of this detrimental energy, which ends up being some of the strongest energy. But I'm very grateful for this detached vibes because there's still a lot of intensity we're clearing. There's still a lot of sensitivities people are going to. I think now that we have this social media age, people are having to really come to terms with majority of people who may not agree the same way they do. People are having to really, for the first time, confront deep sensitive issues with other people that they may not see eye to eye on. And it's great to clear all this out with the cap energy. Shout out to Echoes of the Universe. Spirit made sure I saw this pop up, and he said I with the IYEYE. I've been feeling amazing. Like, I'm slowly personally ready to once again shift my gears and focus. But maybe it was the ritual we did last night. There's just this rising power and strength and confidence that is slow but sure. I'm curious for you though. You are a Leo sun, so what's this opposition aspect like for you?
Well, very good question. And this has been a weird fucking year for Leos. This has been such a dramatic year for Leos as well. And so I think, also being, double Leo, both rising and sun, to have the sun here, it's always so interesting because not only is in its detrimental sign, it's in its detrimental house. It's the seventh house, which is the opposite of the ego. So I think for many Leos right now, we're in a weird position. And personally myself, it's a sense of freedom and liberation, but it's almost like, it's sort of like this question of like, what now? What if? Like, it's sort of like in a realm of infinity, which direction do you go in? And it's sort of like, and even the sun being in its detriment, it's like, I don't know, personally myself, I'm not feeling it as potently. I think maybe it's just because I've tuned myself out. Like, I've numbed myself a little bit just because, Aquarian energy is very weird and it's very interesting. And so I feel like this Aquarius season has been so far really interesting, and so far it's been actually pretty good. And I think there's definitely a lot of truth being revealed about not just you, but everyone, where this North Node in Leo really was talking about your royalty and your essence.
Yeah.
And so now that we're finally here in the Aquarian phase, and keep in mind, we don't have the South Node here. This is just, the regular new moon in Aquarius. But this time around, it's sort of like the lesson has been learned. And since everything shifted into cardinal signs now it's about the actions so much instead of as much as the being, because being and doing are two facets of the same thing. And so now that we're shifting gears, it's really just about kind of balancing it out because, remember, dear souls, we have 4 planets in their rulerships that we're never going to see again, let alone, 2 malefics of Mars and Saturn and Jupiter and Neptune. So, and this is going to go on. Actually, it won't. I was going to say this is going to continue until the new moon in Pisces, but Mars will have already been in Taurus. But regardless, this is prepping us for everything. And this, to be honest, what I've been channeling recently is that this Pisces season is really going to be sort of like the coup de grace, which is going to officially end the old once and for all in a very, very subtle yet very magical way. So I feel like the new moon, since it's a month from now, this new moon, hiding in with the Aquarian theme, is really all about connecting us together. So once we dissolve in Pisces season, we come back stronger, knowing one another in Aries season. So I definitely think this Aquarian season has been really supportive, because we've got some nice support from Jupiter. We've got some really good support from Mars and Uranus, but, and we're running out of, active energy. We're running out of, I actually currently at this very moment in time, all masculine or yang planets are currently in a yang sign, and we're not going to see this again for such a long time. So there's a lot of very powerful shifts changing right now, and active energy is very, very fast as opposed to the more passive, feminine, slower yin planets. And so we're noticing very dynamic shifts in energy. But trust us, and in 2 months the astrology is going to start to plateau a little bit. I shouldn't say plateau, but it's Uranus moves into Taurus and Chiron moves into Aries, and then that's going to be that for a while until November. So, stay up to date, beloved, because, this is really, it's what I'm channeling is like, it's a free fall where it's like you're in space and you're not in control of gravity. Of course, you might be aware of what's going on. But at the same time, there's new realms of infinity opening up. So it's really just a matter of using that Aquarian vibe and using it like a radio and channeling into that frequency. So how are you as a Gemini experiencing this?
It's dope because I'm really able to understand Aquarius being my 9th house. First of all, wherever your 9th house is, which I think is something that makes the Zodiac very distinct, because people will have house aspects that no other people will have. Like no one alive will know what it's like to experience 12th house Aquarius, but Pisces. So that gives Pisces an extraordinary ascended spirituality that no one else will have. Gemini having 9th house of Aquarius, where the 9th is the highest light, Gemini is able to channel like the highest knowledge. And it's not really about it being the highest or the lowest, but we're able to see into the meaning of knowledge through truth, or through especially communication. So this is a very special new moon for me. I just started a spring semester a few days ago, so it's symbolic. My new cycle of learning is being attuned with a new semester of college. It's a 6-month cycle. My semester is 6 months. And I'm also taking a life coaching certificate class. And that's just on the abstract, mundane level. I'm channeling more than I've ever channeled. Like I say, Apollodati is my soul brother. As I say that, it's 5:44 p.m., which is an angel number. And, him and I were sharing stuff that we've channeled together, and it was eerily similar. So it definitely, there's 44 viewers right now. Like, definitely helped me understand some stuff that I wasn't really sure about. And this is Aquarius season. This is, the moon card. So this is what I was saying earlier in another video, when I was like, the Aquarius season, the answers that you have are in other people. This is what's encouraging you to go out and connect. But as a Gemini, I'm really understanding higher abstract knowledge in ways that pertain to me. And I'm just so excited. I feel like, now that my Saturn return is here too, shout out to the Teal Company who's here. Like, this is really going to help us move forward in ways that are different. I think everyone has to be okay with like a different methodology of how you activate and access your energy, but it's something that's going to be so present. And something I want to read for you that I just seen. Shout out with Evolve with Emma. She's currently expecting a new child. Emma Chartland. She's on IG is Evolve and Emma, and the card she pulled for today is Make a Wish.
Ooh.
So
sorry to interrupt, but I actually got the 9 of Cups today as well, and the Page of Swords.
Dude, I have the Nine of Cups right now on my table, just out. So I'm ready. I'm fucking ready. It says, as the card says, make a wish. I'm sure everyone reading this has at one point in their lives made a wish and blew on a dandelion. Now, once the wish was made, did you go running after the white fluffy particles of the plant? When someone says make a wish, when you're about to blow up the candles on a birthday cake, do you light them again and wish the same thing over and over? No, you don't. So as the saying goes, make a wish and let it go. It will be answered in the most amazing way possible and probably better than you could have envisioned. Yes, ask, but be flexible. Too often, people don't even dream big enough and then believe the prayer isn't being answered, but it is, just a little differently than you had initially thought. Please remember that you are part of this infinite, abundant, and amazing universe who wants nothing but the best for you. Keep an open mind and a grateful heart. You will never be left behind or forgotten. Remember this always. Aphrodite is a Pisces moon. So we're definitely going to theme this. We're going to theme this intention setting ceremony on really just the fulfillment of a wish. Because if we think about 11th house energy, this is, Nosh just got the Ace of Swords. Amen. We were talking about this earlier. If we think about 11th house energy, it's wishes coming true. It's hopes and wishes that come from being in a collective and community of friends who help bring together everything that you've wanted, right? So the only caveat here is you want to make sure with this Aquarius energy, this wish that's made is for the highest good for yourself and all involved. So, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that, whether you want to share your wish or not, and intention. I would say while we're kind of pushing forward, totally make the intention for what you wish for. And another thing I want to say is Neptune is in Pisces. That's a seemingly delusional energy. Uranus is in Aries, and we're in Aquarius season ruled by Uranus. That is a seemingly crazy energy. People may not want to admit or accept this, but being normal doesn't exist. Being normal is just a created system. It only exists comparative to what, there are certain things that people were doing in the 1700s that weren't normal that are now accepted normal. So it doesn't make it normal. It's just a current system. So when it comes to being you, many of you are faced with the dynamic Uranus and Aries square Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, where the authentic you is crazy. The authentic you, it comes off as delusional. And you're going to feel that shade from people. And this is your chance to stand up to it, because ironically, the energy asserting that something's wrong with you is only projecting their insecurity that something's wrong with them, because they don't have that inner strength you have. So keep that in mind. You are not crazy. You are not delusional. Yes, according to a system you may be, but that system does not define you. And last thing I'll say is Aquarius, the 12th house to Aquarius is this Cap energy. The 3rd house to Aquarius is this Aries energy. What we're perceiving, what this knowledge is having us perceive, is the perception of our character. That we're releasing spiritual understandings of traditional rules that block us from expressing 3rd house, the uniqueness of our character. And you know what? Some of how you express you is not going to be right conventionally. Some of how you do you is probably in a few years might have been demonized. People might have felt that you were wrong to identify the way you do. But is that their business? No. Even if I had prejudices, it's none of my business. It's all about how you stand up for you and live your life. So enjoy this Aquarius season, because you'll never live this twice. This energy will never come back again.
Yeah, and like this is it's kind of sad being an astrologer sometimes, because you see like the novelty of like the moment, and then it's gone, and then it's like never. And especially with astrology like this, we're never going to see it again. And even with like what Mike was saying, like even in like notions of like medicine and health, which is something that I'm passionate about. This is my specific branch of astrology. I study astrology and tell people how to use it physically when it comes to their health. That's something that is not normal. I am one of like the few hundred or so health astrologers, med astrologers that are out there.
Less than 1% of the world population.
less, literally, you are all less than 1% of the population. And I don't like saying that specific. One thing that my Pisces moon urges me not to rely on is numbers, because think about it. If 100 people in the room, say you're just minding your business, say you're wearing the color red, and 100 people, like one person comes up to you and says, I don't like you wearing the color red. I think you're the devil and X, Y, and Z. It could be anything. And they threaten you. And then 99 more people come in. That's 100 people looking down on you because you are minding your own business, being you, wearing red. And so are you going to let those 100 people, because that's the majority, because if you compared, them on a pie chart, you are less than 1%. So are you going to continue because the majority is against you, or are you going to continue because you're a savage and you've been paying attention to Mars and Uranus, who have been telling you, no one who has ever been oppressed has ever gained rights by being civil. Sorry, not sorry. There's been protests. There has been, of course, obviously, there's a difference between like violence, but people have been gassed, hosed, beaten, chemically castrated for being who they are, for just simply being, for people asking like, hey, can you like stop beating us? You never have to say, please, sir, get off my neck. You never have to say, please stop stepping on me. You have to fight for it. And that's what a lot of this energy is. And to be honest, like I'm a Mars and Libra. I've been like, but maybe we can do it like, polite, maybe we can say, I'm really sorry. I have to smack you across the face. No, we can't. I'm sub-ruled by Mars at the same time. So we can't do that. We're not playing that, that cowardly shit anymore. I'm sorry. The North Node, it's out of Leo. We have that opportunity to sort of like, get into, we had the opportunity to cry and get our knees bleeding. And that's what the North Node in Leo is all about. And then embracing that pain and embracing the fact that you've had to go through that, because through the fire and brimstone, you have survived. A diamond is not made without pressure from the earth. Thousands of pressure, pounds, just crushing it into something grand, something greater than it was before. And so through trial and tribulation, and like Mike said, the Aquarian phase is usually about reward. Because if you think about it, it's after the final battle of Capricorn, but it's before the end of the story in Pisces. So it has to be that reward and where everyone comes together. And it's sort of what I'm also gaining, specifically for those of you who are blessed to play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. At the end of the game, even though Link wasn't there to celebrate, everyone was celebrating with each other. And so we're in that phase where, the final boss has been defeated. And the story's not quite, because, every year on March 19th, the story kind of has to wrap up and then recycle in and of itself Aries season. But now, we're here in the Aquarian phase. So it's really just about awareness and acceptance. Some can say that Aquarius is the final zodiac sign, since Pisces kind of transitions back to the first. It's kind of like the Fool card in that. But I definitely think that, this Aquarian season is going to provide a lot of answers, a lot of awareness, and a lot of I'm hesitant about saying fact, because Mercury is going to show us that fact is merely your perception, but you will perceive the truth in its fullness because you will know. And that's the trick with Aquarius, is that it's not Gemini, it's not Libra compromising, it's Aquarius, it's fixed, it's knowledgeable. So as much crap as I like to talk about Aquarius for being stubborn like me, I also give it credit because it stays in that stubbornness. Of course, it is kind of a weird energy, since air is all about mobility. It's uncomfortable. The sun is uncomfortable in Aquarius. And so knowledge is power, but it's also, pain, because you can't unknow something. And that's why Scorpio squares Aquarius, because some things you really don't want to know, some things you really don't want to be aware of. And so you have to be understanding that, sometimes you aren't ready in the moment to learn something. This transit's going to be like, here's your Akashic record. There you go. And then and it's just going to help you understand everything. And it's not even like you have to do so much as you just have to be in that fixed modality and let it come to you.
So with that being said, let's get the show on the road. I'm going to do a little something different than usually gathering the elements. Thankfully, with the strong presence of Aquarius, that's kind of already dealt with. That's why I love these ascended master energies. All we really need to do is set the intention, because the purpose of doing all that is to make up for the lack of higher vibration energy. But we got it. We got it. So honestly, all you have to do during the instructions is to keep your mind focused on your intent. If you think about the focused, fixed mind, that is everything that Aquarius represents. So I will kind of do something special with y'all to combine our energies, and we'll personally get to a state where we're simultaneously, while connected, and focusing and intending on our wish, and then not just really a wish, intention. And then we're gonna let Apollodite take over, and then he'll work his Pisces moon magic, and you guys are gonna see miracles today.
Right.
Once again,
Indigo Sun, sorry, Indigo Sun, nope, you're just in time. We're just about to set our intentions. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, so the first thing I'd like y'all to do, you can do this in your head, or you can bring a piece of paper out. What we're gonna do is write down, thank you, XEX. I'm not gonna lie, I like Chill Mike too. Cat Moon comes out, just chilling. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write 3 wishes. Uno, dos, tres. There's the moon, the sun, and Mercury. So we have enough for 3, right? But also because the ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, is in Aries, once we're done with the ceremony, recite these wishes again and burn the paper, okay? And when you burn it, pay very close attention to how the paper burns and what happens. This is going to give you an idea of does the paper just burn away? Does all of the paper burn? If some of you don't want to burn it, you can do whatever you want. So in these 3 wishes, right, the first wish you want to write is a wish for everybody, a wish that influences everybody else, right, for the greatest good. The second wish you want to write is a wish personally for you. And the third wish that you want to write, and it doesn't have to be in that specific order, but you want to write a wish for everybody as one personally for you. And then the third wish for like the world and the universe and abstract energy, right? We never make wishes for the energy that grants our wish. So let's try that. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? All you want to do while we're doing this, breathe down the intent to your diaphragm and breathe out gratitude. And I would like for all of you to envision white light pouring down your crown, representing the connection of everyone. We're going to connect more, but let's take some time to write down these wishes and just breathe. When we kind of had some time go by, I'm going to have us channel energy from our root to our hearts so we can activate our Nen, and then we'll picture ourselves holding hands so we can connect our Nen and then exponentially connect, intend, and then I'll have Tim take over. Sorry, we'll do a 10 breath count, then we'll have Tim take over. So while you may be still writing, take your time. Word. What you want to do is write a special symbol on the paper you're writing. It could be more than one. I wrote in a lemniscati or an infinity symbol. And you could write a zodiac sign glyph too. Definitely. I did Gemini, but I'm also going to put Aquarius. So other than that, might as well put Libra. Get all the air in there. Okay, so now I want you to, as you envision and feel this, and what you want to feel personally is your personal wish, okay? And Kazmir, it's all good. It doesn't matter what order you do. If you do the last or the first one for the collective, you just want to make one for the collective, one for you, and one for like the universe. So I want you to feel yourself breathing down your intent, breathe out gratitude, and now feel your energy raising from your root chakra to your heart, and let it collect in your heart, and then at any excess energy just start to spread to the root. So you're not going to let it go from your head to your root. You're going to let it go at your heart, and the excess will just come out your root, come out your hands. And let's just take some time to feel this energy congregate. Some of you may get it instantly because you're used to it. Some of you may need some time. There's no rush. Okay. If you watch this after it's live, it's still effective. Okay. And now I want each and every one of you to feel apple soda, to feel you holding each other's hands, whether in spirit, whether physically, and feel the energy that everyone else is linking with your energy that you have protruded. Everyone else is protruded, link with your energy that you've protruded. Whether you see it as like hands being held, it doesn't have to be that way. You could just imagine a link. And when you feel that connection, now our energy is exponentially connected, not connected, but raising with just each person that comes on. And we're going to take some time to breathe. And then in like a few moments, we're going to share a 10 count breath just to amplify this in unison. Okay. Before we do this, I want everyone to set the intention right now that everyone else's wishes we're connected to comes true in the greatest good of everyone. So now you have your intent, and now other people's intent is also coming through. I purposefully make sure these rituals are non-linear. I make sure it doesn't look as like, I make sure it doesn't make the most sense, just so you could see, you don't have to get caught up in logic or having to seem a certain way. And shout out to those of you who don't have too much pride to participate in something seemingly simple. You guys are the real MVPs. I set the intention for everybody's wish to come true miraculously in the greatest of ways, and rather speedily, since this new moon is all about Uranian instant quality. And now let us do a 10 breath count together. Starting now. Down to your diaphragm. Out gratitude. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. There's 10. Now we've have our energy connected at a high level. And Apadati, please take it away. Figuratively.
All right. Well done, everyone. So that's very powerful. So we're doing very, very good. So I'm glad that Mike read my mind, and I wanted everyone to hold their hands, but I never told Mike physically. So that means he's just that in tune mentally. So well done, Mike. So us staying in that beautiful imagery of us holding hands, that's actually the perfect image of what I wanted. And so, little fact that I'm sure everyone knows, but the heart is the most important muscle in your body. Why? Because it pumps the very life essence to every single cell in your body. It's no different than the sun ruled by Leo. It shines and works hard so everyone can prosper. And Aquarius also represents the circulatory system. So, holding this analogy of everyone holding hands, I want you to literally tap into your heartbeat. And it doesn't, of course, you might not necessarily be able to feel it, but that's all right. You just want to feel that heart chakra, that heart vibe, and hold it within you. And so even, feel the beat that it produces, because the heart moves at a rhythm. In order to provide, it can meet the standards that life throws at it, whether that means going harder or going slower. But this is Aquarius season. This is new moon at Aquarius. So, you don't have to make your heart feel excited, but you definitely want yourself to feel free, uninhibited. Imagine your heart just pumping, not even through your body, but to your soul, and really allowing this flow of energy, this flow of spirit between your body and your consciousness. And as this happens between you, this happens between us all. And so now imagine us with our hands being held. Imagine the pulse that you feel in your fingers sometimes, or the pulse that you feel in your hand. And now imagine that transferring through your hands into another person as it forms a current, and you receive it from another person as well. So essentially what we're doing is that we're all acting as one giant heart, so we can come together collectively, and it will enhance this experience further. So really just keep breathing. And since the energy is charged, it's really just as simple as letting your heart beat, letting your lungs breathe, and just really practicing gratitude. Even if you don't necessarily feel happy, one good trick that I personally use myself is, it might sound silly, but, try and force a smile. And of course, you don't have to do it to make yourself happy, but it will trick your body into releasing dopamine, which is the happy hormone. So, and by doing so, you're literally using your mind to trick your body. So there's nothing more Aquarian than that. And so now that we are here and collecting our energies one another, really just feel it like a circle, just like a giant circle of energy, with every heart beating as one, because that is ultimately the truth, and only love is real. And we are all different fractals of the same being. So if a mirror is shattered, there will be hundreds of pieces, some bigger, some smaller, some more damaged than others. But regardless, it's all part of the same reflection. And when they come together, you see the big picture for what it is. So just take another minute, because the beautiful thing about Aquarius is it's just setting the vibration and then coming together with people. So now that we're all together, just set your intentions, and let's just do 3 deep inhalations together. And really, the trick is to visualize while your body breathes. Your body will breathe on its own naturally, as it's meant to do, but your consciousness is meant for bigger and better things. So focus on your intent. Focus on the world as it actually is, not as how you perceive it to be. And so especially keeping in mind with your 3 wishes. So just really focus on them. And for every breath we inhale and every breath that we exhale, each one of them comes true.
Amen.
All right, so just visualize. And on the count of 3, we'll start breathing in. So 3, 2, 1. One. Two. And 3. And that's all that there is to do it. So feel free to keep breathing, because you can never do wrong with that.
Woo!
You know, keep going. You know, very. Sorry, I just got sidetracked for a moment there. But yeah, very, very powerful, everyone. Well done. But yeah, as Mike said, you can burn the paper. Pay attention to how it burns. There will be a secret from Mars and Jupiter in there for you all as courtesy of the Fire Tribe. But yeah, this is it. And so congratulations, dear souls, because this was because of you. Aquarius is all about, you know, the collective. So, you know, like thinking of Capricorn season last year, there's no way we could have done this just because we were all, you know, including myself and Mike, going through our own baggage. And so now that we're here, now that we're in Aqua season 2019, and once we go into, now that we move into Pisces season, or we're getting ready to, you know, this will provide a lot of closure, because once we move into Aries season, oh, you better get ready, because that conjunction with Chiron is going to wake everyone up who is asleep. So thankfully, you all being here now, being awake and being aware, you are light years ahead of the common folk, shall I say? I don't want to say muggles, but it's like you either believe in magic or you don't.
I like to call them non-believers.
That's true. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
You did okay. So you said that I mentally connected to you. You literally just spoke on what I was just about to say. And I was going to say that when it comes to the burning of this paper, right? You are going to see something, the uninitiated, like Jim Kincaid said too, I call him that too, that what you're going to see is something special. And I was going to say a secret. You're going to see a secret regarding around this paper. I just didn't know it was going to come from Mars or Jupiter, so it's good to know. But whatever the secret is, keep it secret. That's all I was going to say. Like you're going to, there's going to be something in that moment when you burn this that's meant for your eyes only, and take that with you. So Amen. I'm so glad to hear you like confirm that.
Yeah, and see, because a lot of people forget, like fire gets the bad rap for being like, fire gets labeled narcissistic, impulsive, reckless, and I'll be honest, you know, some fire signs, some baby fire signs, they don't know out of control. But there's this notion that, you know, fire, it reveals. Fire is the only element of the four that shows light. None of the other elements can be seen. Air can't be seen at all. Air can be felt and, you know, interacted with, but it can't be seen, much like thoughts. Water can be felt. It can be controlled like emotions in some ways, but of course it will take the shape. Earth is earth. It stays the same no matter what. But fire, it's the only one that's dynamic and active based on its own energy, because it burns what it's around, not because it's discriminatory. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It doesn't discriminate whatsoever. And so, you know, don't be, obviously there's a difference between, you know, for example, if someone is not mentally well and their notion of self and fun is stabbing innocent people, that's not cool. That's a breach of free will. And so, you know, there's a difference between letting someone tell you that's wrong and then obviously doing something that's wrong. But as long as what you're doing does not violate the free will or the well-being of another person directly, you ain't got nothing to do. What do you have to worry about? Because, you know, there's really nothing to fear other than, to be honest, the only thing to fear in life is not fear, it's love, because love will smack you on the face and tell you how much it's love. And that's what fire is really. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like, you know, this is a ceremony instance, and I'm especially true because we got a lot of support from Mars and Jupiter right now. And, you know, even the sun here wedged between them, that's Leo. So, you know, we are connecting to everyone else based on you. It's what's best for you truly is best for the collective. And don't let this false 1950s whitewashed consumerism bullshit tell you that you following your own interests, you being interested in your own being and not worrying about the politics or, you know, the bullshit. Of course, you should care about the well-being of your fellow man and woman, of course, but, you know, you don't have to fucking play these damn government games. You don't have to worry about, you do not have to be a pawn of anyone else's story other than your own. You have to take responsibility for your own story, of course, but other than that, don't ever take shit. We are in Aquarius season. The Uranus did not reveal itself during the French and American revolutions for shits and giggles.
Nope.
And so, you know, this new moon, it's liberation in many ways from everything from before. So, you know, there's really nothing more to say, and that's just kind of like, it's kind of boring in some ways, because it's like, well, how do you describe true freedom? Like,
Exactly.
how do you describe uninhibited limits? And, you know, you might get gaslit. You might get called weird. You might get called stupid or a charlatan or, you know, whatever. But, you know, the fact of the matter is no one can get in your way. Every time I thought that I was going to lose a fight with someone, whether that was like verbally, energetically, or spiritually, I showed up and the victory was guaranteed. I didn't have to do anything. They are more scared of you than you could even conceive
Amen.
of. Fear is an illusion, and the only way you can be dethroned is if you get off yourself. So take a lesson from the fixed signs, plant your fucking ass there and be like, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to, you know, because, you know, more things in life are consensual than you realize. And when you make the boundary, that might make, because when you cut off someone negative, they will call you every type of thing. They'll say you're fake. They'll say that you've changed. They'll say that you're no longer. It's funny because, like, and I actually learned the story of the Buddha. I actually didn't know this one, but after he became enlightened, he literally went back home and he flat out said, hey guys, I'm enlightened. And they were like, look at this Buddha, like thinking he's all that. Get back to praying. And then he was like, yeah, we actually don't even need to like do that. And then they were like, look at Buddha coming back all acting brand new. He's seen suffering, he's seen enlightenment, and he's the fool. So, you know, it's one thing to stick to your ego, it's another thing to stick to your individuality. So, you know, that Pluto star just said they're just mad that they're not in your life. People are I don't like to say this, but the only losers in life and people who give up on themselves and people who give up on love. And you who've believed in both, you will be the one who the meek shall inherit the earth. I don't like to quote the Bible too much, but that one I truly do believe in, because Pisces always has the last. Always. Period. So yeah, I'm done. Rant over.
No, this is great. We're gonna close with just pulling. I'm gonna pull oracle cards. Apollo Daddy will pull Clo. Yep, the exclusive Clo. And the cards we pull are going to be the message for this new moon in Aquarius. Like, what's the message that attaches to this wish you had? How are you going to know it's going to come through? Barring off of what Apollo said, very genius. You know, people have called, I'm sure people don't say it to my face because I guess for some reason they don't want that smoke. It is what it is. But oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, it will never be to your face. They're mad pussy. Sorry if that's an offensive word, but Cardi B said it best. Like, people will talk shit about you on social media. You show up knocking on their door like an Aries savage, and it's silent. They don't answer the door. So don't even worry about how they will react so much as how much you know you can handle your composure. Because obviously you don't want to, you know, smack someone if there's witnesses, because then that just gets messy. But
battery,
you know,
and if they do, it's some underhanded, backhand, like strategic stuff that's not in integrity. You know, you can't come have a heart-to-heart with me. You got to do some shady stuff. So it is what it is. That alone lets you know. There are people who I know think I'm a charlatan. There are people who think that the Leo King is a charlatan, when, you know, the reason why that doesn't faze me is because we have put, this dude makes 30 videos a week. We have put in the work. We have heart-to-hearts with thousands of people. We have seen them say that their lives have been changed because of work that we've done, and it only makes us humble. You know what I mean? So when people say that we're fake with what I do, with what we do, it comes from a fake place. That's why they see it as fake. So it's nothing that I'm using myself as an example. The same applies with you. Many of you read tarot. Many of you, I saw Brittany Renner talk about her tarot deck and mention that, you know, in order to, if you burn the witch, you acknowledge that magic exists. So, you know, this energy is out there. If you're going to, the way ego can trip you up is to try and prove yourself and be like, no, what I'm doing is true. What I'm doing is true. I don't care if majority of the world thinks I'm a charlatan. What I care about is that the work I'm doing genuinely helps people. The more I care about what other people think, the less integrity I have, because I'm not focusing on people who do support me, who I do help. So keep that in mind, y'all. No one can take your power away. And I think this is amazing because I didn't realize Paul Dottie and I have a composite moon in Aquarius, and that just got activated. So it's a very special new moon. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, right. So Aries rising, Aries moon. The card that I have for you is why. And this is definitely making sense because Jupiter is in your ninth house. This is highly philosophical. This new moon is going to have you ponder the bigger picture and higher reasoning of what constitutes everything that you perceive and how to perceive it so that certain bigger abstract questions are not like confusing anymore, but they pertain to your real life.
Amen. And so for Aries, we've got the voice. So let your thum out. Fus ro da. Let them have it. Don't be afraid of speaking out. Don't ever let yourself be silenced. Of course, there is some. What I'm channeling for you, Aries, specifically, is there is a hidden message that is not being said vocally, but is still being put out there. And so for Aries, I feel like maybe it's coming from you. Maybe I feel like there's been some tiny percentage of your power that's not ready to come out, but now it is. And so this Aquarius moon, the message is don't be afraid of speaking out because you're the savage for a reason. And trust me, the revolutionaries are watching. They are ready to support you whenever you need it.
And just as a caveat, not every Aries is savage. It is a warrior energy. When we say savage, it's with respect. It's like, you're the one that's not willing to like have to limit yourself, to be real. Taurus moon, Taurus rising. We have building blocks. How according? Building blocks is talking about the foundation you have already built, allowing you to achieve this new cycle, and also the results of this new cycle, building even greater foundation. And I split the deck and I got soulmates. I feel that applies to everyone.
All right, so Taurus, ooh, beautiful. So very appropriate for Taurus is that we have the wood card. So for Taurus, this new moon, I feel like the message is just growth and abundance. And considering this is your 10th house, this is talking about high personal growth, great growth into your fullest life, into your fullest potential. So don't be afraid of setting, new seeds if that's what calls, to you, or just keep whatever feels right, keep going, because this is very fertile. This is very Gaia energy. So don't be afraid of, setting the seeds and putting the work in, because you will gain fruit.
Gemini moon, Gemini rising. We have building blocks as well. So not surprisingly, it came a time to go. But I feel like for you, these building blocks are going to be very relevant knowledge that helps you focus, helps guide your focus so that you're not really all over the place, but you can streamline that energy.
Right on. So Gemini, ooh, interesting. So for Gemini, we've got the arrow card. So the new moon message that I'm channeling for you is you really, you want to cast a wide net, but just realize that, if you aim at 100 targets, maybe not all of them will hit, but the ones that do hit, those are the targets that you want to focus on. So you want to kind of do a scatter shot method, and whatever hits, whatever fails, fails. So then it's not like you failed or are a failure. It's just the universe sorting out what portals you want to aim for next.
Nice. Cancer moon, Cancer rising. We have clean it up. This is their 8th house new moon, so it could get a little messy, but this is definitely saying whatever arises is just going to let you know what to clear. It is also saying, what can you clear away now? Anything that you clean up and clear away now will energetically leave room for everything you wish and want.
All right. Ooh, interesting. Cancer, the warrior's coming out in you. Thank God, because we need you. We've got the sword. So your willpower is going to determine how sharp your blade is. So this new moon, being your 8th house, is encouraging you to transform your life in a radical way. And of course, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to like burn your house down or anything, but definitely don't be afraid of finally cutting someone off. Don't be afraid of going to war, because, you've kind of got like a princess archetype, Cancer, but that doesn't mean you have to be a damsel, whether you're man or woman. So, just don't let your raw vibration, if it's pain, let it speak for itself. Of course, you don't want to be petty and take it out on people, but do not be afraid of, speaking your truth and getting out on the battlefield, because you will be victorious.
Leo, Leo moon, Leo rising. We have clean it up again. It's crazy. Taurus and Gem got the same. Cancer and Leo got the same. So this is definitely talking about I got so for Cancer, it came with the fates. Fate will bring this. For Leo, this came with higher power. So it's like the higher order celestial will show you what around others will need to clean up. Cancer is more personal. Leo, I feel like you need to clean up, mess that other people brought towards you, and take responsibility so that, like, it's take responsibility in the sense where you don't allow other people to push their dirt on you and whatnot.
Amen. So for Leo, we've got the snow card, but I don't like this one, and I'm a Leo. Oh, perfect. We got the fiery card. That's more like it. So I feel like, so this is perfect. So fire and snow, and actually this card directly defeated this card in the show. So I feel like there's a message that your fire your springtime, your summery heat will melt the coldness of winter. And so I feel like there's also a dichotomy here, being sort of like, since this is Aquarius season, this is fundamentally opposite you. I feel like parts of you are balancing out in ways that you've never seen before. And so if you feel like you're going crazy, you're not. You're just dealing with the constant polarity. And this is true for everyone, regardless of, if you are a Leo. But for Leo specifically, I think that there is definitely, the snow is melting and things are being revealed. So don't be afraid of seeing what lies underneath, because you might see something, you might see a new plant. You might see something worth it. So, yeah.
Virgo moon, Virgo rising. We have time for a nap. Get some rest. Did you just sleep some more? But I get the sense that this is more energetic. Like many of you probably won't really get more rest than you need to. I think at a very spiritual level, you're just going to find they're more calm, and you just want to sit with that energy, spend more time in meditation as well.
Word. Virgo. Ooh, Virgo, we got the earthy card. Ooh, very nice. So this is power. This is evolution. This is you moving into completion. Since this is very similar to the world card and energy, I feel like you are ending a lot of cycles, Virgo. And this Aquarius season for you is definitely talking about, sacrificing the old life and really embracing the old, or rather the new one, that has its own set of rules. So it's a very special message for Virgo is that the world has already been changed. Now it's time for you to not try and solve it or figure it out so much as you just experience it and try and make the best of it.
Amen. Libra moon, Libra rising. We have the tribe, Libra. This is amazing. I think you're definitely going to utilize the tribe, not necessarily connect with the tribe. I think you found it with this North Node in your 11th that moved into your 10th. But this is more so really, coming into the greater meaning of your tribal influence and connectivity.
All right. So Libra. Ooh, interesting. We got the change card. So I feel like things are definitely going to be changing. I feel this card is definitely, for some reason, I'm channeling very powerfully relationship change. You finding out what your standards, or not even finding out so much as you finding someone or someone finding you who has the same standards. And this person has a very powerful message to you about relationships. And so I feel like there's definitely going to be, you're going to see a shift in the change, not necessarily in you so much as just how you approach relationships and how the dynamic is changing. So don't be afraid of admitting to yourself that you actually do want to be single and that you really don't want to be in a relationship because you really just don't like a person.
Damn.
With all due respect, Libra, some of you choose to be in a relationship when you could be much happier being single.
Well. Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. Oh, cool. We have the tribe again. Wow. And I almost didn't pull this card. It's like my finger pulled it up. So, yeah, the tribe for you, Scorpio, is coming with peace. Let me get another card here. Whereas Libra is going to utilize the tribe, Scorpio, you're definitely going to find the tribe, higher power as well. And you're going to co-create it with a higher power. It's like you're coming home to your tribe, which is awesome. It's very galactic in origin.
Okay, so Scorpio. Oop, actually, that was funny. I had a card and then it shuffled again. Ooh, Scorpio, we've got the wave card. So I always like this card just because we actually never see it used in the show. But in the wave card to me talks about frequencies, talks about change. What I'm seeing in my head is a tsunami. So I feel like Scorpio, you are either under the waves or you're the one that's causing it. But I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of very powerful shifts for you. And I feel like, again, I mean, to be honest, Scorpio, you always use your intuition. So I feel like it's kind of redundant to tell you to use your intuition, but there's going to be a hidden message come Aquarius, this new moon, that's going to require you to really tap into a space that's a little bit more far out than maybe what you're used to.
Sagittarius. We have loyal heart. I feel for you because Venus just left your sign. This is very tied to a romantic situation where you are probably twin souls with an individual, like you maybe have the same moon sign or some type of connection that is going to reassure you you're connecting with someone whose heart is loyal to yours.
Ooh, good to know, because I have a Sag friend who's just gotten smitten with a Gemini, and so I'm going to make sure that she's on her best behavior, so that's a good sign.
It's crazy. When I use that example, I was talking about a Sag who's married to a Gemini, and they both have Taurus. Yeah.
Awesome. But highlighting on that, we got the big card, so don't be afraid of going big, Sag. I mean, you are. It's like, what the, like, you already do. Like, why is Scorpio getting the obvious one? Why is Sag getting the obvious one? Just go for it, Sag, because whatever, you've got the Midas touch this week, and this new moon is reminding you that, you know, the truth is coming out, probably bigger than you ever expected it. So you just kind of want to kick back and enjoy the shit show when it happens, because there might be some drama, but you will certainly not be a part of it.
Capricorn, Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. Yay, we have happy. Capricorn, I think you're going to make a decision that makes you happy. I feel like some of you have been so burdened by your sense of responsibility. I don't think you care the most about what other people think, but I think you care about your integrity and the burdens that you keep. And I think you're going to make a decision that makes you happy. Okay. This cycle is going to bring in genuine happiness. You're going to be celebrating. You're going to be dancing. All right. With balloons. But the thing here is there's a key on this egg. And I think you're going to unlock a very important secret or truth and power with the South Node.
Interesting. So for Capricorn, with the happy card, we got the freeze card. So, well, we also have the thunder card. So interesting. So I feel like this, you might, it's what I'm channeling is that this is going to be a moment that lasts forever. And so you're going to want to make sure that, you know, with this freeze and thunder card, that you really want to make sure that it's like if you've a model, right? Even like the best supermodel in the world, if they only have one photo to take, that one photo can make or break it. So you want to make sure that you get your pose just right, get your lighting, because you're going to be you're going to be very happy, Capricorn. Don't get me wrong, but just make sure that it's something worthwhile, because yeah, you might be there forever, but again, it's going to be something positive, but it's just a reminder that you're not stuck in previous moments. Snap back to the reality of the now.
Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. We have for you. Okay, so far that freeze lightning, so relevant. Like that was great confirmation. And this is a continuation. Between worlds. Aquarius, you're not only going to be navigating between worlds, this is going to be you drawing greater amounts of your power physically. Many of you Aquarians were not even allowed to harness like the greater 80% of your power, because in some cases it could kill people. Like some of you feel so extreme and intense. See, people think that Scorpio is super intense, and they are, but they don't know Aquarius hides their intensity. Like it's not even that they hide it, they just can control it with that 12 cap. But you've had to have parts of your power sectioned away in pocket dimensions, and you're accessing it between worlds with your imagination and your mind. So be mindful of those fluctuations and enjoy what occurs during this process.
Ooh, so similar to Taurus, Aquarius, we've got the wood card, so positivity, growth. And I feel like this is you. Interesting. What I'm seeing is like wood and trees and a forest, but it's on another planet. So tying in with Mike's card, I definitely think you're moving to a new world, something that, you know, it's sort of like, imagine how if you, like Mike said, kind of with that analogy, like you're going to a part that you've never really seen before or that you haven't been to in a while. Imagine if you could pick up a seed from that world and bring it back. That's the tree that you're going to grow in this one. So really think about who and what is really important in your life, and whatever comes from this new moon, it is the first step of an infinite process of abundance.
Pisces moon, Pisces rising. We have go the distance, because if you go the distance, you will finish the race. This is so Jupiter in the 10th, okay? And I have time to go. Some of you have to go on that race, but yeah, go the distance, all right? I think some of you are at a point where it's like, is this even worth finishing? You're at home stretch, so just do it. Go that extra mile. You will thank yourself. Trust me.
And for Pisces, so, ooh, which card? This card. Ooh, interesting. So Pisces, we actually get the Libra card. So for you, I feel, and tying in, ooh, interesting. So with the shadow card, I feel like elements of your light and dark are coming into oneness. And I've been channeling this, and this is sort of interesting, where darkness is not quite the same thing as shadow, because a shadow cannot exist in darkness. It's only in light can a shadow exist. And if you were to look at the sun without blinding yourself, you wouldn't see the shadow behind you. And so I feel like this is also a message that a lot of the things that you have not been aware of in your blind spot, Pisces, are starting to come out. And this might even come through people and situations. So don't be afraid of, moving away from them as long as they are not representing something within you. We also have the time card. So I feel like you might be pausing your own growth because of fear. So just snap yourself out of it and realize that you're back in reality, and the reality is whatever that you choose. So, yeah.
And finally, a card for everyone. I extend forth serendipity. Miracles do happen, and you will manifest amazing miracles that you could have never even planned or thought possible. So expect the unexpected, and remember that spirit loves you dearly.
And for me, interesting, we've got the shadow and the mist cards. So both of these are sort of enigmatic things where you can't touch a shadow and you can't truly touch mist. You can't contain it at the very least. And so I feel like we are all boundless. We are all uncontainable. And, I feel like we are all evolving to, again, our highest point. And I feel like specifically with the shadow and the mist, don't be afraid of going to that dark place, because remember, it is where what I'm also channeling, interestingly enough, is the Rumi quote is, the wound is where the light enters. So you might have been injured from the past. You might have been injured from before. And so this is where everything starts to come together. And so also I'm going to pull one tarot card. I mean, we got the Chariot, we got the Six of Wands, and the Ten of Wands, or the Six of Pentacles. So the burden's over. Things are coming into balance. And notice the scales, the Libra coming back into harmony, and Chariot, victory. So there's nothing more to say and do, beloved, because we are back to our fullness. And that's really what this full moon's all about, or rather new moon. So really just congratulate yourselves, beloveds. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. This has been a blast. This has been a pretty good one. We've gotten a really good turnout. If you have not already liked the like button, please do so. It really helps us out, really helps us grow. And yeah, do you have anything that you want to wrap up with?
No, I think that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for joining us. Just like Colby said, he's going to burn this right after the broadcast, whether you do it right after, whether you do it a bit later, pay very close attention to what happens within like the next 10 minutes of there, because it's going down. It's going down. And channel Uranus when you do it, because this is no joke. And I hope you enjoy the cycle. Thank you guys once again for joining us. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace out.